Engineer, where are you headed? Carry me back to Tennessee.
Hi everyone, my name is Brent, and this is None the Wiser. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're wondering about what is the best doctorate program for a working person, a parent, well, someone that just doesn't have time to dedicate to a full-time academic career. And if you're looking for a doctorate program, that means you've probably already went through a ton of education already. Today, we're going to talk about a program that I just chose to join, and I start here in a couple days, and I'm very excited about it. That is the South College DBA program. Now, for this particular DBA, that stands for Doctorate of Business Administration. This is a competency online doctorate program. And if you've never watched any of my other videos and you do not know me, well, I have 7 children. Yep, and I'm married. So I have a full-time professional career, but what that really means is I have a lot of aspirations. I want to do more. I want to make an impact on an organization and in a way that would create positivity, reinforcement for employees, and maybe help the organization step to the next level. And that's what I'm looking for, is substance for my soul and making a difference. Titles and everything else, that really doesn't matter to me. I want to do the substantive things to help people, to change things, to make a difference. Well, that's where South College comes in. If you watch my previous video, you're going to see that I compared a bunch of, 4 online schools out of, I think I looked at 15, and through my research I found the top 4 online programs. That's Capella, it was Phoenix, it was Liberty, then we had South College in there. Now, South College came on our top. It was cost effective. B, it was competency based. You move at your own pace. You take as long as you want, or you take as little as you want. If you're looking into a doctorate program, well, this is the video for you, because South College, as a working adult with a family, they're the best doctorate program that you can get, hands down, and we're going to talk about it today. First, let's talk about the introduction, overview of South College. South College is a really good school. It's been around for a super long time. And the campus I'm looking at, they have a ton of campuses, but this is Knoxville, Tennessee, which is ironic. I live in New England, but I was born and raised in Tennessee, actually not far from Knoxville. So I am so happy to be able to be enrolled and going to the school. But it has a pretty large online presence, which, is really good. So they've developed that online platform over a period of time, and it's doing really good. Now, why do you want to get a DBA? Well, a DBA or a doctorate, or even a doctorate in education, in education, you're going to be able to move up the ranks a little bit more. If you're looking at a DBA, that means you're going to be more of an expert in the business field, understanding within your expertise how to run an organization more on that executive level, or to create more of an impact, to understand a strategic vision and then help the organization implement it, or have a human understanding as well in order to help make a substantive difference. So it's actually pretty cool what you're going to learn there. The key objectives of the program are just that, to make a difference, to stand out, to be a leader in the field. And a lot of people have a master's degree, so if you're going to stand out, you better do it somehow. Now, barriers to entry, you got to have a master's degree, and with that master's degree, you have to have a 3.0 GPA when you graduate. Luckily, I had a 4.0 GPA, but there are certain standards, and you got to meet them. Professional experience, they want to see professional experience, they want to see a resume. Have you actually done something, or are you a professional student that you don't have any experience? If you don't have any experience, you're probably going to struggle, because DBA is a pragmatic approach to education. They're going to teach you how to implement very quickly. That's very important to know. Now, financial barriers, it's going to cost you every 6 months, you pay a flat fee, right around $7,000. First responders, you're going to be able to get $1,000 off of that. But there is grants, GI Bills, other things you're going to be able to get. If you need a loan, get a loan. Best thing to do, if you can afford it, just pay the flat fee and avoid the back end payments, which will just never end with school loans. They will just bury you. Just get out from under them. So student experience, like I said, your student experience is you are a parent, you are a family person, you are carrying a full-time load. You pick what your experience is going to be. Your experience is going to be discipline. And remember, discipline is something that you do a little bit at a time or something you just consistently do. Now, whenever we look at motivation, motivation is something that's temporary. So your motivation is going to start really high and you're just going to go straight down. This is discipline. You're going to keep a steady pace. You're going to be on cruise control. You have to have discipline through this program. You're going to go through each of the online modules and you're going to submit 7 to 12 different assignments per class. Now, there is 10 total classes that you have to take. That's it. Well, here's the kicker. It's 9 credits per class. They're pretty lengthy, and yeah, you're going to have upwards of 12 and I would say even 15 assignments. And some of those assignments, they're going to be formative, where they need you to understand the concepts. And then you're going to have, that. I think that's kind of like half, but then you're going to have the summative. Now the summative they're going to really grade you. They're going to challenge you. And with a doctorate program, you can't just pass with a 70 or even an 80. You actually have to master the material, which is, well, a 90+% when you're learning. It's really important to know. They want you to master the material. You're not just going to float under the radar here. This is a rigorous program. Being online, one of the things we have to worry about is having peer interactions. What is the support? Well, I actually found a really good Facebook group, and I found about 1,000 or 1,500 students that are just bebopping away and chatting, and they're complaining, sharing successes. And whenever someone posts on there, now I'm Dr. Jenkins, and I would reply, well, what do you prefer? Doctor, Doctor Who, Doctorate, Doctor this, Doctor that. Those are actually motivating factors that keep me going. To enroll, to keep going, to read, to research. Now, I've done this through all my other programs, but it really makes a difference now because I need a little extra inspiration, if you would. I'm tired. I got a lot of kids. So with that being said, the experiences, and I'm going to get there a little bit more, but your academic advising, they're going to help you as well. There's a ton of support through the services. There's career and job services, and top companies do look for outstanding students. They get doctorates that they can start putting in their leadership training programs because they've demonstrated the understanding so that they can put you in positions that you can be an effective leader. Now, I'm going to talk about the course real quick. Whenever we talk about these 12 or whatever assignments, some of the assignments you actually get to pick what type of assignment. Do you want to write? Do you want to do an oral presentation, a PowerPoint presentation? Do you want to do a blog style? Do you want to do a podcast? You can actually choose what you want to submit in a lot of cases. I've never seen that before. So that helps the instructor understand how you are absorbing, synthesizing, and then explaining what you've learned. That's really cool. So just think about that. You get options, and it's a practical application. Now, whenever we look at certain things down the line, you're going to have core classes, and I'm going to tell you, and I'm just going to look away from the screen really quick, your core classes that you're going to have to take for the DBA, and I'm not going to speak a lot to the other programs. They actually have doctorates in a few different programs online, such as education, IT, infrastructure and management, and I think strategic management, some other stuff. It's really cool, but I'm going to focus on the DBA. Core classes that you have to take are theory and practice and accountability and leadership, business law, ethics and social responsibility, organizational behavior and dynamics, strategic analysis and implementation, innovation, effective communication strategies, practices across cultures, applied research methods, and advanced data analysis. That's very self-explanatory. But then you have some specialty courses, building organizational capacity. That's a big one, right? Executive leadership, stand up. And then leadership as a coach or consultant. And that's really important because you're going to be able to do that once you get that experience in. That's important, right? So with all of that being said, now you got to do your dissertation when you're done. That is 100 to 150 page minimum book that you have to write in order to graduate. Now, South College just changed it up. You're going to be able to do a capstone or a dissertation. Now, dissertation, that's a lot of writing. Capstone, still a lot of writing, but it's more of a project, a pragmatic approach to solving something real in the world today. When I completed my master's, I did a capstone project. It was actually pretty cool, and I enjoyed it. Not small, challenging, but it was great. So throughout this program, I think that's why I chose to get into it, because it is so pragmatic. It is such a practical type of experience that I'm looking to get. It will help me every day that I go to work. And that is what we have to look forward to. How long is it going to take you to graduate? It's going to take it around 2 years to graduate on average. Now, whenever we talk about studying and whenever I talk about discipline, my study time is from 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. I put my kids to bed. I cook dinner. I put my kids to bed, read them stories, sing to them, and all that great stuff. And then I study and I research and I write. And I have to make sure that I do that every single night. And then I'll do 8 hours on the weekend, probably each day, some in the morning at 5 a.m. to a little bit, 5 to 8 works out. And then I'll do maybe 8 to 11 on the weekends, right? And that's how I get my schoolwork in. But I've done that for so long, that is part of me, and I'm used to it. If you know you're not going to be able to put the work in, then you really need to make sure that you understand what you can and cannot do. With that being said, you can start this, and you get 28 days to pull out. You get into it, and you realize you can't do it. They will allow you to stop the course and stop the program, which is really cool. I'm going to leave you with one final thing. Whenever you hone the edge to a blade, that means you have to sharpen it. And typically you're sharpening it with a stone. Whenever you're doing that, you're going to create friction and you're going to create heat. It's all part of the process. And when you do that, the heat is unpleasant. But the remainder, after you're done honing your blade on the edge, it's razor sharp. You're going to be able to split the wood and do the work a lot easier if you didn't do that. And in my vision, we're honing our blades through education and learning, and then taking that education and actually implementing it. If you all want to learn more, follow me, because throughout this program, I will be reviewing the program, what my experience is like. Is there the ups? What are the downs? What are the mental agility that you have to go through as a person that's just trying to live your life, but also trying to make a difference in the world? I hope that you all join me. My name is Brent. It's been None the Wiser. I can't wait to see you again. Take care.